think of Antarctica, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably just a huge, white, empty expanse of ice, right? A frozen desert. But what if I told you that couldn't be further from the truth? What if this continent is hiding some of the biggest, most mind-blowing secrets on our entire planet? Okay, let's get into it. This is the big question, the one we're really gonna dig into. Because the reality is, Antarctica is anything but empty. It is a land packed with mysteries, holding clues to our planet's past, our future, and yeah, maybe even our place in the universe. The very first secret is just how deep this place goes. In some spots, the ice sheet is a staggering 4 kilometers thick. I mean, just try to wrap your head around that. That's almost 2.5 miles of solid ice, and it's covering up an entire world we never knew existed. All right, so let's use a bit of imagination and some incredible science to peel back that thick layer of ice. Because what researchers have found down there, using powerful ice-penetrating radar, it's absolutely unbelievable. And we're not talking about a few small ponds and hills here. We are talking about hundreds of lakes filled with liquid water, like Lake Vostok, which is one of the largest lakes on the entire planet. We're talking about complete mountain ranges, the Gamburtsev Mountains, that are about the size of the European Alps. And it's all connected by these massive river systems, completely hidden from sight, totally isolated from the rest of the world for millions and millions of years. Now, here is why this is more than just a cool discovery. This hidden world completely rewrites the rulebook on how we thought the continent worked. All that water underneath the ice, it acts like a lubricant, which has a huge impact on how fast these massive ice sheets are sliding toward the ocean. It's a total game changer. But you know, the secrets aren't just under the ice. In a way, the ice itself is the biggest secret of all. It's like a perfect time capsule, preserving a ridiculously detailed history of Earth's climate. So scientists can drill these incredibly deep ice cores, and inside them are these tiny trapped bubbles of ancient air. And these aren't just bubbles, they are a direct record of our planet's atmosphere going back an unbelievable 800,000 years. It's literally how we know what CO2 levels and temperatures were like, giving us this crystal clear window into our planet's deep past. And get this, deep inside those hidden subglacial lakes, in total darkness, under crushing pressure, with no light and almost no food, scientists found something incredible. They found life. These tiny little things are called extremophiles, and they are, without a doubt, some of the toughest, most resilient life forms anywhere on Earth. Now, this is where things get really cosmic. The fact that these little microbes can survive in the dark, frozen waters of Antarctica is huge. It basically turns the continent into a real-world laboratory for scientists who are trying to figure out if life could exist on the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, you know, places like Europa or Enceladus. If life can find a way to survive here, in those conditions, well, why not out there? And speaking of space, Antarctica doesn't just help us look for life somewhere else, it's actually a giant collector of messages from the cosmos that fall right here on Earth. And the reason for this is actually pretty simple. It's a dry, stable, frozen environment, which is perfect for preserving things that fall from space. Plus, you have to admit, spotting a dark meteorite against a massive, flat, white sheet of ice is about as easy as it gets. The treasures they found are just extraordinary. We're talking thousands of meteorites, including priceless chunks that were blasted off the surface of Mars and even our very own moon. We're getting physical samples of other worlds without ever having to leave our own. It's amazing. But it's not just about these smaller rocks. There's a hint of something much, much bigger. Deep beneath the ice, in a part of the continent called Wilkes Land, satellites have picked up on this huge gravitational pull, a massive anomaly that tells us something enormous is buried down there. So what on earth is it? Well, right now there are 2 leading theories. The first is that it's the scar of a colossal meteorite impact from millions of years ago, a crater that would be more than twice the size of the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. The other idea is that it's a massive plume of super dense rock rising up from the Earth's mantle. For now, though, the mystery stays hidden deep beneath the ice. Okay, so we've looked at ancient mysteries, but now we have to turn to a really urgent modern one. You see, Antarctica doesn't just hold secrets about our planet's past, it holds a critical warning for all of our futures. Here's the bottom line. If the West Antarctic ice sheet were to melt completely, it has enough ice to raise global sea levels by several meters. And the scary part is, right now, it's melting at an alarming rate. And this is why this matters to every single one of us, no matter where you live. Understanding exactly how fast this is happening is absolutely vital for protecting coastal cities and communities all around the globe, because what happens in Antarctica definitely does not stay in Antarctica.
So, with all of this at stake, what is our role? How do we explore this final frontier on Earth while also making sure we protect all of its fragile secrets?
Well, the answer really lies in one of the most successful international agreements in history, the Antarctic Treaty. This incredible agreement sets the entire continent aside as a scientific preserve. It completely bans any military activity, and it prohibits all mineral mining. It is a continent dedicated only to peace and science. Of course, any place this remote and protected is going to attract some wild conspiracy theories. You hear all sorts of stories about lost expeditions like Shackleton's, or secret Cold War missions like Operation High Jump. But the overwhelming evidence, the actual historical record, shows these were all about science and logistics, not some sinister cover-up. So, from hidden mountain ranges and ancient life to messages from Mars and a critical warning about our climate, Antarctica has already revealed so much. And yet, the craziest part is that the vast majority of it is still completely unexplored. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible secrets does this final frontier on Earth still hold?